Hey guys, it's your girl, Mr. Vesatile, guys, checking in. So I'm here with my man, DJ Dre.
What up, what up, what up?
So DJ Dre, let everyone know a brief synopsis of who you are, what you do in the industry and stuff like that.
My name is OG DJ Dre Day, internationally known DJ Dre Day. I'm the CEO, founder of City Boys, which started 9 years ago. And now we're still moving and doing different shows, different events. I plan events here in Philadelphia and as well in the Tucson area. So we all around. We do private events, weddings, bar mitzvahs. We also work with the youth. We also do music production and do music classes with the youth. Like we teach kids how to make and learn how to work in a studio, learn how to engineer and master their own music. And we've been doing this for a while now. And right now, our focus is now to, spread the love around the world and be able to go to different schools and different places, teach them how to DJ, teach them how to make music, write their own lyrics, because the creative arts, especially in Philadelphia, is like very limited to the kids now, and it's up to us to find little outlets and ways we can help them. So that's pretty much what I do. I'm the guy behind the whole City Boys movement, the City Boys with it. Definitely, this is a blessing.
The City Boys. So how did the idea come about to like the City Boys? Like how did that come about that you like, it's a group of y'all, it's a group of City Boys. It's like a total. Yeah. So how did that come into fruition? And how do y'all get along? Like how do you first come into play, and then how do they get along? Like,
well, it went through a lot of different ups and downs, like I would say, because 9 years, you're not going to just have everything moving smoothly and steady.
Yeah.
So the way the name came up was it was just me and my friend just hanging out, and we were just trying to figure out a way to brand ourselves because we was trying to separate ourselves from working with other people, and we wanted to start our own movement. So I was just like, yo, why don't we call ourselves the City Boys? I think that'd be cool. Instead of with an S, we put a Z. And he was like, yeah, that's cool. So I asked a couple of my other friends. They was like, yeah, I like that. That's cool. So it just kept on clicking with the name. And then when it clicked, I just went with it. In 2011, that's when we done our first event. And I remember it was like, it was really, a blessing because I was already popular as a DJ, but now moving into being a boss and, putting together the whole production with DJs and bringing people in. It's a blessing because it's not always easy to work with people because some people I realize you have guys that come in and just want to be around for the clout and just wanted to enjoy what comes with being a city boy, but they don't want to put in the work and the grind. So
is it like I'm assuming throughout your course and stuff like that, of the 9 years, you had to let people go? And
oh yes, most definitely. We had to let people go, but one of the things that was never like a bad blood or bad energy. It was just always people know it was their time, and some people have other goals and stuff in their life, and they might not be totally committed to it so much as me. But for me, it's a blessing because I'm able to do events here. Like I said, here on the East Coast and the West Coast, and I don't have to deal with a lot of different situations which a lot of DJs face now because I put together my own events and put together the whole whole situation. Yeah.
So you're kind of like basically you took a whole different lane.
Yeah, seriously, I got tired of people using my talents because I used to work with a lot of big radio stations here in Philly. A lot of people, would know me throughout the circuit and network because I was always on the radio, I was always around. And then when I used to DJ in the city back in the day at a club called Club 27. Okay. That was a big club back in like 2007 and different things like that. I think what was it what was it 2012? I think it was 12 and 13. It was really big back then. And when I took over their Saturdays, it was really a big opportunity for me to showcase what I can do as a DJ, and as well it was like my opportunity to get into the industry because from there I started traveling to LA. I did a couple of Diddy parties. I opened up for Chris Brown. That was all DJ Dre Day. That wasn't even City Boys yet. That was just DJ Dre Day. Myself doing that. And it was just by me, sometimes I did gigs for free. Sometimes I took a little less pay because I wanted to make a relationship with a person more so than I wasn't, trying to undercut no one. It was just like, I need the opportunity. So I took the opportunity when I was a lot younger, and it helped me to put myself now, whereas though I go out places, I don't have to worry about, waiting in line. I don't have to worry about, the situation that normal people go through. It's just like, oh, Dre in the building. What up, Dre?
So you feel like a little celeb, like not a little, but like a celeb.
I did a lot of celebrity events. A lot of stuff with love and hip hop artists, personalities, not artists, personalities, and some of them are artists now. But it was my time. I had to do what I was supposed to do, and then when it was my time to move forward, it was like, it's time to be a boss now. It's like, you can't always be the worker. I started teaching other DJs how to, guys that was up and coming. I started teaching them how to DJ, and they taught me how to produce. Shout out to DJ ATL. So they taught me how to
So you gotta feed off of one another.
It was like work hand in hand, and that's what the whole situation of City Boys was like. Everyone bringing different creative ideas, and we helping share and help each other. Because even before, I had a lot of graphic designers I used to work with, and then I taught myself graphic designing, how to design flyers, how to do videos, how to just do a lot of.
So hold up, so videographer, that's what you're basically talking about,
some of the videos we have on our YouTube channel. I was a part of the process of the video. I was behind the camera, working the camera, in the room editing the video.
So do you just learn all that on go? No one's teaching you, or do you, are y'all all kind of
Yeah, it was one of those things we help each other. Then as well, we realized that it's expensive to pay someone to do a flyer, someone to do a video.
I get it.
And it's like,
why not do it yourself?
We learned, and it helps you be able to get stuff out quicker, do stuff faster, because even on our website, or we want to put out a video, want to put out some content, we can just do it right away, rather than let's get it to the videographer, have them edit, do this and do all that, and it takes a week or two just to do something that's for 15-30 seconds, and it'd be killing me. And I'll be like, I can do this. I just started researching, and it was like going to school. You just in there learning, writing stuff down, remembering it, and then it just took off from there for me to learn how to do it on my own. And it's a blessing because I get able to save money and able to save costs, and which people want to see you do as a business, and learn how to manage with things that might not have all the right material. They want to see you made to work with what you have.
And you know what? As time continues to grow, you just get better. You advance your equipment and stuff like that. And people don't know. Sometimes, I'm real meticulous about certain things. So a videographer can do something. You'd be like, I need it to be tweaked more. I need it to be.
And they can't tweak it. Yeah, you just go in there and tweak it yourself. Boop,
and that's what, you know what I mean? So I definitely get that aspect. But talking about radio, because you said you did radio and stuff like that. So I'm assuming at one point you was doing interviews on people and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I did Heat 100 radio. That was a couple years ago. That was a very good experience for me because I was doing a morning show, and it was different because you had to get up early, you had to be there so early, people calling in and you talking to them about, it was just so many crazy topics. And then the nightlife, I was working with Q102 Radio, so they broadcast me live DJing in the clubs. So it was always two different sided things, but it was always meant for me to do something like this because, like I said before, my DJ life, I was a dancer. And I was always the life of the party, and it was always about me showcasing my talents and my art. It was that's how I kind of got in with people, because I was always had a different type of talent than normal people. I see things differently, when it comes to work and art. So I'm all right, I see how this can be done differently. And some people be like, how you do that? How you figure that out? I just see it differently, or hear it differently.
So I know you said you started off as a dancer, back in the day with dances and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's gotta be
break dancer and all. My knees are showing it.
But hold on, what about the crump dance? Do you remember when people used to?
I couldn't do the crump dance.
Okay.
I felt like I was You Got Served when I was in that crump dance.
Because that was also the era where people was crunking fashion and stuff like that. So I'm like, they haven't did that. So I'm like,
I came in the area like we showed up at your school, your dollar party, wherever you was at. We showed up, and it got to a point like it was so real. Like I'm blessed to be alive because we had situations and when guns was poured out on us and
that happened.
Yeah, especially growing up in Philly, you really get challenged in different ways, and you be surprised that you can get shot over a dance battle. You'd be surprised you get stabbed or beat up and jump over a dance battle. And that's what like my era coming up. It was dancing and fighting, dancing and fighting.
So that was really real, like
we was rumbling, like it was like a game.
Dancing?
Yeah, it was crazy, but it helped me make me into a better man. But it was crazy because those guys that we used to be enemies with, we now friends now. We like homies, and we be like, why are we always doing that for? And it was crazy.
Like now you can.
It was
think
so passionate about that passion, that passion of dance.
Like if they lose or y'all lose or whatever. Like
you have to watch your back. You want somebody gonna try to steal you, yo. Let me beat me in a battle, yo. And then, yo, we gonna get him, yo. We gonna get him. Like, what? Yeah. Showed up at your neighborhood, rolling up in cars. It was real.
It was funny. Real. Y'all not even selling drugs. Like, what the?
It was real.
That sounds so funny.
That was real, yeah. That's what I'm saying. These kids now, like, they got it so, like, made because they can go on YouTube and express themselves and don't have to feel so bottled in. Because when you grew up in Philly, when I grew up, we didn't have social media. So you had to go out and pass up the flyers at Broad and Alny in different places for people to come out to your events. And when we do a dance events, our lines used to be down the block. Like, people just want to come and see us dance, or people want to come and battle us. So we was real. We was really real, but it was a blessing because we changed the culture of dance in Philadelphia.
What was the name of the group that you was a
shout out to Versatile. This is tatted on my arm right
here. Versatile. Shout out to Versatile.
So we the OGs. It was us and PDK was like the ones that was really doing it back then. And we came from like rough areas in Germantown and Mount Airy and North Philly. So we instead of us getting in trouble, and some of us still was getting in trouble.
Yeah, of course.
We challenged that energy into our dance, and dance led us to meet some of the legends, and to able to now to be looked at as legends, like because some of the areas that we was used to dance in that you couldn't go now, it's like so universal. People be there, dance battles coming be happening in these areas, and people be coming from like Florida, New York, Connecticut.
Wow.
Asian, black.
Like everybody can be
Spanish.
mixed now.
Yeah, we don't have to think about that no more. And my crew and a couple other crew, we was a part of changing that and shifting that. And that's why when it happened for me, now when I go around, people come up to me and be like, yo man, thank you. I'll be like, there's something I remember that I impact these people in a time of my life, whereas though I was just doing it for the love and the passion. And when you're doing it in like a unconscious about what's going on, you're just doing it, you'd be surprised like the impact you make. And then we was able to change people to do different things and do something positive.
Cool.
Yeah. And now it's like I got a son. I'll be watching him. He's like up here dancing, doing his little TikTok videos. They just be cracking up. And
TikTok didn't even exist during your era.
I know. And it be killing me because I'm a dance instructor to this day. Like I've been teaching at some studios for like 20 years and some change. Yeah.
So you do a little bit of everything.
Like a life coach kind of thing. Yeah. Some of these kids, like the studios I've been teaching at, I help change some of these kids that looked at the city kids in a certain way, because I'll teach out in the suburbs. Okay. So when they look at they don't get a chance to experience certain type of stuff that goes on in the city. They're not exposed. Realness, I should say. Yeah. So when even my son, he's dealing with that a little bit, and I have to explain to him like that's not what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. And people that get caught up and stuff like that, it's because of a situation that's going on in their life. And because I grew up, differently, watching my family, like when I grew up in a single parent household, I watched my uncles was hooked on drugs and different situations.
We just become the normal to it. It's normal. Like, who doesn't?
But these kids, they just do it because I'm depressed. I'm sad and something ain't going right in my life. And it's like, what? Like, come on. Like, you just go, we can talk about it with someone.
Yeah.
So I realized that me able to talk to these kids and teaching them to understand and see what life is, then they kind of like shift their views on it and understand their opportunities is they can take advantage of it because they blessed with the opportunities. Not too many people get opportunities to live in a nice neighborhood, have both of their parents.
People don't even know that's a privilege, right?
That's a privilege, yeah. And I try to, not just teach the kids about what they have, but as well as understand that it's kids that not blessed or don't have these situations. So when you see them, you can't talk or treat them a certain way. They're normal just like you. And you might can learn something that you wouldn't even know about yourself just by hanging with them, because it's a reality, and then there's things that people live because they're living in a certain world. Like they have certain things that keeps them away from reality,
And that's true what you're talking about. You know what? Even like we had when I was in high school, we had like an exchange of like a suburban school versus like an urban school, and it was dope that they did something like that.
Yeah.
But they school really looked like the TV school.
Yeah.
I swear to God, like they had everyone had like Benz and stuff, and they like SAT they scored to their parents. I was like, y'all really all drive to school? Or
yeah, I remember catching a bus to school. three buses to get to school.
Yeah. So it's good, like, being able to be exposed to different cultures, different people should be more introduced so that people can understand more about different backgrounds and stuff like that. So that's good that you're like trying to open up, like the suburban kids or the city kids, and
that's
then
why
bringing
City
them.
Boys is we are unity. Like you come to our events, you won't just see one type of demographics. It's all types of people.
So an event of like describe a City Boy event to me. What does that look like?
Pack. Crazy nuts everywhere we go. It's a blessing. It wasn't like that. It took. But
what's the entertainment?
The thing about our entertainment is focused on what is not happening and what we can do to make something to happen and make it exciting.
Okay.
Because people forget that people don't always want to go. Because we do our events in different places, not just necessarily in Philly. We out like. We got the event coming up in the 28th that we're out in Hatboro. Okay. So we come and we might bring OT the Real or somebody. Okay. PD Crack. Stuff. Get something for people that love that type of music but don't want to come all the way to the city because they got to pay for the parking. The drinks is more expensive. Okay. So we kind of cut that line and then bring the artists and the entertainment to you, and we book the venues. So the venues that we booked our own venues to do our own events there. Whereas though I'm the DJ.
So you create the whole event.
Yeah.
So like
the flyers for the videos. So everything.
Oh. Yeah. So you like the creator of the event and stuff like that. So is that like really different from coming from like working like a station and having like that steady income or whatever, like?
It's definitely like you gotta flip the hats because you got, for me, I'm blessed to be able to like do this full time because my DJ business is really, I've been doing it for so long that now I'm in a place that my mobile DJ business takes care of me to put me in a good place to be able to do what I want to do in life, and then too now I'm doing events that I don't come to the owners and talk to them like, oh, I'm a DJ. No, I'm like, let me get your bar. I need percentage, and I want your door, and that's it. So
so you know exactly what.
I bring the crowd. Yeah, we bring the crowd like Thanksgiving Eve.
So like they need you. Yeah. They like we need.
Pretty much. Yeah, they need us. Not saying they need us.
But like you're bringing
they want
the
something
crowd.
different.
Yeah.
We realized like, and then too, I realized that. You can do something positive with it or you can do something bad with it. What we're going to do with it, we're going to do something positive because some of the areas that we're in is already bad enough that they might not want us there. because of us being city boys, whatever they might the
stereotype. Yeah.
So it's like we always make sure our events is planned out. We don't do them all the time. It's spread out. You get enough time to prepare for it, and then when you come out, you're having a good time, a good experience, and then you go home and you talk about it. And you be like, "When the next one? When the next one?"
And that's what you want. You want to create that momentum going and stuff like that with the city boys. And that's a whole I never even heard that. But how long have you been working on? You said 9 years, but city boys 9 years.
9 years.
9 years. So you've been doing that and stuff like that. So that's like a whole. And then for music and then DJ. And you said you've been DJing for 20 years though. So during your era, the 20 years ago when you first started, did you have I know I was talking to DJ Spencer. He said he remembered his big CDs and
I was bringing turntables out, everything. It was real. You had to. It wasn't like you coming into the club with the controller you just set up. It was like, you bring your turntables.
So, do you miss those days?
I do, but I don't. I don't. Okay. I miss it when it's already there set up. But when I gotta set it up, it's like, oh man, I gotta do this shit again. Oh man.
So you do away with all that, and you got to see basically the equipment evolve.
Yeah, I got to see equipment evolve, music evolve, because even you hear the music now. For me, I'm able to mix and match the music because I'm a open format DJ. I can find old school stuff, mix it with the new school, and integrate it with the scratching because a lot of DJs now is scared to DJ. They just want to just turn up and play the music that's right.
You said they're more intimidated now.
Not even say intimidated. They just they don't have an OG behind them, I should say.
Okay.
Because I grew up around a lot of OGs that was
So they mentor you and stuff like that, when you was coming up.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of OG mentors, some of the top DJs you might have heard on the radio. The back in the day, the party music was big in Philly, and shout out to my man DJ D Square. A lot of them, DJ Sega, I know all those dudes personally, and they was I watched them and I was around that era dancing as well as learning how to DJ. And then for me being a dancer, it was easy to integrate to being a DJ because I knew what music fit the crowd. When you know how to move, you know how to make people move. That's what I always say. And it'd be funny because a lot of DJs used to be dancers too. I'd be like, used to be a dancer? Used to be a dancer, and then...
Or artists. I know a lot of DJs that also was art, rappers or something. They started off...
And that too. I know a lot of artists, they used to be dancers too because... how can you make a record you can't even dance to it? It kind of makes sense. You kind of, you will want. And then too, in Philly, I noticed when I travel and start going to Cali and DJing in different places, we have a certain respect that we don't even recognize. I'll be like, oh, you from Philly? Oh, we already know you gonna kill it. We already know you gonna do this. And I'm and listen, and this when I was going out there opening up for Riff Raff. And Riff Raff is huge now out there, and it was I was open, and it was crazy because it was just easy for me to get into places because of me being from the East Coast, me being from Philly, and then it's just it'd be if Philly only knew.
Aura actually means a lot.
And that's why I try to do what City Boys is us we bring brotherhood we even the music we do we go on our Apple Music and listen to our music, City Boys Music Group. Our artists that we work with is from Detroit, Philly, Mississippi, Arizona, LA. We put them all together because we want it to be not just a local mixtape. We want people to be able to be like, oh, I work with this person, I work with that person. And whether you all was in the same studio or not, they might record over there and they send their verse and then send their verse back to you and you just put your verse on there and it makes sense. And I told people, it's I want something better and bigger, and I just don't want our city just to settle. We gotta start appreciating each other and learning how to look around what's going on and being all right, how can we make it better and not trying to shit on somebody? Because that's our problem. We always trying to, in Philly, we always, I'm better than him. Not carrying that attitude for what? And it's if you understand, step out, go to New York. They love us. You go to Harlem, they show love. I've been up there, they show love. They show nothing but love.
When you're from Philly,
in Philly, we get love here. I just always tell people oh, I hate the city, man.
A lot of people say Philly is a tough city.
Just go. All you gotta do is just leave the city for a little bit and go. And that's the thing. What people are scared to do is Because I lived on the West Coast for a while. That's why I got myself popping on the West Coast, because I stayed out there and committed, and only went out there with $100 in my pocket. And luckily, I had like friends and supporters out there that I was able to stay with. But
you just went out there just like,
yeah. I was like, yo, I need a break. You know, like I did so much in the city. It was like I need a break. So when you do so much, you go out and you go to these other places, and you realize, like, you know what? I'm blessed, but I gotta know that myself, what my blessings is for me to move forward. And when I came back, I just boom took off. We just started really taking off. Really started popping. Like I wasn't worrying about having a nice car or certain things I was into. I was just like, I gotta put this money into this video. We gotta put this money into studio time. We need new equipment. We need this. We need that. Man, I ain't worrying about those Jordans. Man, I can get those when I get a bill in
like
my
a
pocket.
whole new mindset.
I can buy. I'd rather have a house than to be out here buying these cars trying to look all cool.
Yeah.
Because I had nice cars and all that. Like I was that bull. But I realized that being that bull doesn't put you in a better place for your future. What are you gonna do? How you gonna set yourself up for your future? Even if you're gonna do music, you gotta take control of it. And I realized I had to take control of my life. And I had my son looking at me like, what you doing? Like, he's 12 now. He's looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, but it's be funny because now, like, my son, his friends be like, oh, your dad, like, was cool.
That's gotta be weird to him.
Yeah. And his friends, like, they be trying to fit in. And I'd be like,
because he's from the suburbs, I'm sure he's being raised suburban.
He's suburban. Yeah, he raised suburban. I ain't gonna lie, you know, but
it's fine. We want more for our kids. Yeah. Don't you want to?
Exactly.
I feel bad if my kids be in the suburbs. I mean, it's just what it is. You should want better.
I be had to bring him around, like, you know, and for him to understand, like, it's a blessing you have an opportunity. Come up to my son athletic. He plays football. He does wrestling, and you know he's really that good. So I always had to remind him he has opportunity, because I was good in sports as a kid too, but I just didn't have nobody to push me. Like, go ahead, go run, go do your thing.
I think a lot of city kids miss that. You know, I think there's so much talent in the city. Like you said, you work with the youth now, so that's a blessing, especially youth in the urban community. Because a lot of us think growing up without a father is normal, because I don't know too many people who grew up with a father. Honestly,
that's what I say. You go, everybody in my neighborhood, we was all either you live with your aunt, your grandmom, or your mom. Yeah, that's just what it was.
so it was normal. So you know what I mean. So when you start, all of us basically to go without our father. Your father's probably locked up or not around, that they're going to glorify drug dealers, because they're like the it guys and like in the community. So that's good that you're now working with like the youth, showing them like a different life or different path. Even if they don't have a dad, you can get mentors. Like I didn't even think about mentors until I got older, and I was like, yeah, you should get mentors. Everyone should have mentors in life. Yeah. And you know, whatever that you want to do, and like you said, creative outlet. That's what you're doing now with the City Boys and stuff like that. Because you were fortunate enough to like
find my way,
find your way on your own without, you know what I mean. But that's not everybody's case.
Nah. Some people get even when I go back to my old neighborhood, I see some of my friends and just be lost or messed up on drugs, and it's just not saying that was the life they chose. It was just that
circumstances.
When you grow up in a certain neighborhood, some of my friends never been to the Chamonix Mall, never even been outside their neighborhood. That's all they know is the neighborhood. And when you just know your neighborhood, you just only have one type of mindset. You only deal with one type of people, one type of women. You just think this is what your life is supposed to be. You don't realize, like, we kings. Like, we supposed to roam the earth and do what we supposed to do, not just stand here. We kings and queens. We supposed to be moving. And that's why I said I got blessed to grow up. Even like in my neighborhood, I grew up around kids. We was all like talented in sports or something. And we, I had an older brother who was like that bull in my neighborhood. Like everybody knew my brother.
He was like,
we your brother. And my brother really, looked over me without me even having to be around. Him had to be around. Oh, that's my brother. That's little my brother. He good. It was just like my brother always made sure I was good. And then too, regardless of the circumstances, my brother, he bought me sneakers. He put me on to like gear, like Nike.
So you had like that was kind of like you had somebody still there.
He was that dude, and when he had his money and he was doing good, he took care of me. He made sure like my father wasn't around. Like he made sure I had nice sneakers on my feet. He made sure I dressed nice. He made sure nobody in the neighborhood mess with me.
And that's important. Growing up in an urban community, you gotta look fly. You got that's like what we focus it on.
Yeah, and that's what it was like. I learned about sneakers through my brother. I learned about hip hop and everything through my brother. Like my brother used to have the 36 Chambers of Death. You know, I was like, what's this about? You know, looking at all the old martial arts films, and then Wu-Tang came along and he put me on the Wu-Tang, put me on and all of this, like, cause I just hear him like early in the morning banging the cassette tape, cause he used to go up to New York.
Cassette, oh my God.
Yeah.
Cassette.
I used to steal them joints. Like, what is this?
Well, these people don't even know about cassette. I'm gonna give that to myself. Like, what you do with it? They're gonna be
exactly.
like,
Rakim, what are you listening to? But it'd be crazy because it was just like when I got exposed to understanding hip hop, I'm like, my brother's listening to all this shit. Like my brother was always listening to this. Like that's how I was. So it was a natural thing because when you grow up in hip hop, it's just what it was. You dress a certain way. It's a certain type of music.
It's a culture.
Certain type of way. Yeah. And like I said, even with my son, it's like it'd be funny because his friends be trying to fit in. I'm like,
the suburban kids always running me down.
I'm like, son, you don't have just relax. You don't have to fit in.
You gotta try so hard. People
they
just
want to be like you.
Y'all want to be like each other.
Just relax.
But people don't know, like, just being who you are is important. Like, you know, I don't think no one expects you to be more than it is. Like, we don't want suburban kids to act city. We don't want city kids to act suburban. Act whoever you are.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I always tell them, like, if they can't be the nerdy friend that you want them to be, and they try and act, they don't need to be your friend because they gonna put you in a situation when you go into a certain neighborhood and they trying to talk a certain way, act a certain way, because people will see the fakeness right away.
Yeah.
And they going to check them, you know. And you don't want to. I told you don't want to be somewhere and your homie getting his Jordan stolen. Like, you just stole him off his feet.
So
it's real. Like I told him even like it'd be crazy because on his football team, like the kids be saying the N word. I'd be like, yo, you need to check them. Like you don't play that. Like even I get the N word pass. Like no, you don't get no N word pass, bro. Like no, this not we friends, but you're not gonna be disrespectful.
Crossing that line,
you didn't grow up. I have white friends that grew up like that. That can get a pass, but they don't take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? But if you didn't grow up in that circumstances, whereas though you grew up from the slums, you have no right to use that word. Like that's just what it is. And I always tell them like they don't know what they saying. They gonna wind up getting slapped or something and getting really hurt.
And thinking it's okay, and they don't know why. Exactly, I definitely agree with that. So how can people get in contact with you? Are you reachable? Are you like?
You can check me out at DJ Dre Day on Instagram, all social media, and then as well you can follow City Boys at City Boys Nation.
Okay, and what about you said you have a YouTube, right?
Oh yeah, City Boys Music Group, and also our website is cityboyslive.com and cityboysmusicgroup.com, all with a Z. Check us out. Check out the music. We on Spotify. We on Apple Music. My music is different. We don't just make hip hop. We make all types of music. And then, I'm a DJ, I always try to make something that can play in the club. That's a hit. Because I always tell artists, you want to get something that can get you on the radio and get you that plays, and then you can make the music you want to make. And it's not saying you take artists from what they do. You elevate them. Like. Even I'm working with an artist out in Detroit. He sounded like T Grizzly to me at first, and I'm like, we gotta change his sound up. So now he sounds completely different from T Grizzly, and he have his own sound, and he has a different following on the West Coast because it's more like a West Coast vibe. They
that's what they do. Yeah. So you work with that's like artist development in a sense.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah, I develop artists. We sit in the studio. We create everything, the music, and I told artists. That stop going on YouTube looking for your beats. If you can find a producer, work with them, sit down and create your sound. You got to create your sound, and that's how Blueface got popping. You know, like they work with a specific producer, maybe a couple of them, to create their sound. But when you go on YouTube, you got millions of views that probably so many people downloaded that same track, and you can't even distribute the music on Apple or anything because it's owned by that person who made the beat. So I always say.
So you're putting them on the business, basically.
Exactly. You gotta be smart. You can't be trying to. Oh, that be hot, yo. I'm gonna like 200 people on this joint. Like, nah, man. We can get it with a producer. Be like, yo, I need something similar to that. What can we do?
So okay. so they can follow you on City Boys. And so if artists and everybody want to hit you up, then you'll be open to like working with people.
Certain people, not everyone, but some people come to me. I be like, yo, nah, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. But it's just one of those things that I learned that you gotta be real, and then too for me, I gotta
filter people.
Yeah, I gotta do what's best for me as well. Not just working with people who they're artists. It's like if you don't fit the sound or fit what can help you or what can help both of us, then we can't work.
That's honesty. Yeah. All right, so check them out, City Boys on YouTube and stuff. Hit his DM up. Not everybody, but certain people. If it's a good fit, make it work. Oh yeah. Thank you so much for giving us the time.
Don't forget that I got.
My shirt, my gift. Look, I love when people bring me gifts.
Oh yeah.
So anybody gonna get interviewed, bring me gifts. I'm a girl. Look at this. I can't wait to rock it.
Oh yeah, that bubblegum pink.
Yes, I love the color. Hot. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.